Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here, and there's a bit of construction in the building going on. That's the thing about being in a new building. So if you can hear that, I apologize, although we upgraded our mics recently. So we have 17 listings today, and then we've got 3 on the other board, the Oakville board, because if you haven't tuned in a while, what's happened is about a month ago, maybe a little over a month, the real estate boards split. They used to share information. Now they have 2 distinct sets of information. Now, if you're like us or an agent in town that has both memberships, you can actually access both sets. So that's what we do is we send you both. The public will see everything when it migrates over to realtor.ca, but there's a delay in information. So we're hoping to get this stuff to you faster than what you see on the public sites, and hopefully a little bit more robust and a little bit better. So Maple starts us off, and so we've got a 2-bedroom at $269, which is pretty good. Almost 900 square feet, so it's a nice amount of size, some upgraded hardwood floors. When you consider the fact that 1-bedrooms are selling in the 240, even 250 range, I think that getting the real 2-bedrooms is actually going to be a real handy thing for some people. So this one looks like it's in line with what else has been selling. The condo fees are pretty reasonable. There is a gym there, and there's also a party room. Now, this one on Childs is interesting because we've never had one of the older townhouse, the condo townhouses actually sell for more than 3. It happened in June, and it happened in this complex. So this one here, when you look at that previous sale, it had wallpaper. It was a nice home, but it was a little bit dated in parts. This one looks like it's had a lot of work done. The photos, I'm glad this one's a high res, the one of the kitchen, but some of the other ones aren't as high res. They're a little bit smaller and low res. Nice finishes though. Like I would say from what I'm seeing from this one, it's worth the difference in price between what the previous one sold for and what this one's asking, just strictly based on some of the upgrades and improvements they've done. And so they might get it. It might be that the Pioneer has cracked the 300 mark, which is good news for a lot of people that have these kind of homes. Now, Hampshire Way is at 359. This is unit 68, and if you go through the photo gallery, it's actually the identical photo gallery to the next one, which is unit 67. So if you look at these ones here, it's like deja vu all over again. You can see that they didn't even change the photos, and I doubt that the 2 models beside each other would be exactly the same. You'd think there might be a mirror image or something like that. So I'm wondering if that's going to hurt the sales process for both of them, because people might get confused. They might think it's a duplicate listing instead of 2 distinct different listings. So in terms of value, at $359, you had the $56.91 a month for the road maintenance. I would say there's probably better value in looking at some of the Mattamy homes, and then you don't have any shared fees. And yeah, I mean, this one's good because it's close to the highway, but I just think that the homes tend to sell in Milton for a premium when they're brand new. I don't know why, because there's dirt all over the place. And maybe there's some warranty stuff, but there's not really major issues with these homes. But the point is that I think that there's better value in getting something like a normal Mattamy Village town. Something identical size like a Woodbine would be, in my eyes, a better option. So Barclay is at $369. What I see here, there's 2-car parking in the driveway. It's got the 3 washrooms, which means it's probably a Clayton. It could be even a Croftside. So end unit, it says spotless. So if it is nice inside, I would say this home has a lot going for it. Without seeing the photos, I would say that the price at $369 plus what I'm reading on the paper certainly indicates to me that there's a lot of good stuff for that price. So Van Fleet is $419. It's a Linwell end. It's 1680 square feet. There's no hardwood floors. It's okay. It shows okay to me. $419 if it was a really upgraded version. We've seen some of those go into the 420s. They might get it. It's probably on the high side of fair, but I have no doubt that somewhere in the 410 to 420 range is certainly attainable. Cabot Trail is $424.9. It's a 4-bedroom, but they're 4 smaller rooms. One of the rooms is actually 7.41 feet, and the other one's 8.66 feet across. So definitely not the large 4-bedroom, smaller, efficiently laid out, and yeah, 424. There's not a whole lot in that neighborhood that you can buy for 424. There's a couple things like the quartz countertops, which certainly sweeten the deal. Irving Terrace is at 469. It's a Pilgrim model, 1740 square feet. Clever angle on the kitchen, because one of the problems, one of the things that we hear feedback about on this model is that it doesn't have a true eat-in kitchen. It's got a little breakfast bar here, but they've actually made that kitchen seem about as big as possible. That room there is on the builder's plans a combined living dining room, so you could have a formal dining area plus maybe some chairs, and then the family room, sometimes people use it as a dining room. 3 bedrooms upstairs, huge laundry space, and it looks like they've taken good care of this one. It's a good price for this. Usually at $469, we're not seeing a kitchen that looks as good as that. And this model, there's one that's even sold conditional at $499, and this one actually doesn't look like it's $30,000 less than that. So nice stuff. That one's going to go really fast. Boostfield is at $489. We just have 2 outside photos. There's not much there. 63 by 112. And it looks like there's some hardwood floor on the main floor. Again, the concern for me would be the electric baseboard heat, same as the one on Anderson that we talked about yesterday. Although this one's a little bit more expensive than Anderson, it doesn't back onto Thompson. So let's see. We'll wait for some more photos on that one. I don't know if I'm in love with it, but let's see what happens. So Pringle is $494. It's 2173 square feet. Anytime you're seeing that much size for under $500, it's probably one of the largest single car garages you can get under $5 for sure. It looks okay. It looks like they pinned it right on the right point. I think having the first number start with a 4 is going to help them. Cedric's over 2,000 square feet, 5049. So they're on the other side of the 500. A little bit more upgrading on the floors. Although putting appliances in, I talk about this a lot, is a very good thing. With a brand new home, spend the money to put the appliances in. You're asking $500,000, spend $3,000, put them in. You'll get a higher return on that. Sometimes, and you'll notice on this one, the air conditioning, there's no air conditioning. So someone's going to have to spend some money there. They're going to have to put window coverings in. So the more that you can make it move-in ready and comparable to some of the other homes out there, it just eliminates that objection in a buyer's eyes to say, you know what, I got to spend this, I got to spend that, I have to put a fence in. And so the truth is, this home tends to require probably $10,000 worth of stuff by the time it's all said and done. Twist is $519. Looks like it's the better part of between a half and a full acre. Nice finishes inside. You can see the upgraded countertops, bit of a ceiling effect there. They've got a lot of the waffle ceiling happening, and it looks pretty quaint. And Twist is relatively quiet. Yeah, I would say that this one looks pretty good for just over $5. That's pretty much what you get. That's the going rate, and you're on the border of the Hamilton district where you have Flamborough, Kilbride, all the rest of it, but you're still in Milton, which means your taxes are lower, and that can be an advantage too. So Ferguson is $525,100. When you look at this one, there's the same model. It's called a Quincy Corner. There's a bunch of them for sale right now, and there was one that listed at $499 that I said was a great deal. I think it was in Monday's list, and so they canceled that because they were going to try and get multiple offers. They held off offers. They canceled it and then put it back out at $519. There's another one at $519, and I just think those ones show better than this one. Not a lot of upgrading. The kitchen doesn't really dazzle you or anything like that. So these models have had a lot of variation in sales, especially earlier this year. It seems like they've really reached their float point at around $520 or so, plus or minus, depending on upgrades. So they're going to have a tough time with that one. Connor's Landing is at $579. It's 2,300 square feet and double car garage. Not a lot of clearance on both sides of the double car garage. It's the 3-bedroom version, which is nice. So it's one of the ones where there's a couple stairs, family room above the garage, and it's a nice floor plan. It's a good layout. There's your second family room pretty much. The problem with it is that you can't have your TV too loud because then all the people in the bedrooms can hear it. But the 3-bedroom to me is a better elevation because the rooms are really, really small California shutters, and nice little porch outside too. $579 is not bad. The size of this one, there's a model closer to the escarpment built by Fieldgate. It's called a Chester, and they always seem to sell up in the high fives. And I actually like this floor plan better. I think there's advantages on room sizes with this one. So Row Terrace is $600,000. All I know is it's between 2,000 and 2,500 square feet. There are some really nice big homes on the street. You have hardwood stairs, hardwood floors, and it looks okay. I mean, changing that hood fan is a good thing. It helps because it blends in with the white cabinets. I don't find the house has a lot of zip or wow to it, but the lot's pretty good. It's a 40 by 100 foot lot. Intracourt built it. If it's closer to 2,500 square feet and it shows pretty well in person, there's a chance they'll get close to 6. Reese is at 708. It is about 2,670 square feet. So a little bit on the small side they're competing in the 700 range. There's even 3,000 square foot homes. And some of it has to do with layout too. I mean, I understand that is that you can't always compare, 50 square feet difference. Is there really value there? Because we've seen homes that are 2,600 square feet that have better layouts than the 2,900 square foot homes. There's some upgrades in here. The countertops are still the normal laminate Formica style. The thing about this one that's good is that it's a 50 by 100 foot lot, which is one of the biggest lots that Mattamy offered. It's funny because the 56 lots, the wider ones are only 80 deep. The 46 are usually 80 deep. So the 50s, they ended up being a little bit more generous with their lots. That could help them. I still think it'd be tough for these guys to crack the 7 mark. Steeles is 4.7. I think at one point it was up at $6 million. Certainly one of the more outstanding properties you'd see in any list, and obviously priced that way. 14 acres, there's certainly a lot of value there. The house is well over 5,000 square feet. It's interesting because you've got a kitchen here, and then you have a pretty darn good kitchen right next to it. So I don't know if this is considered a prep kitchen. To me, it just seems like it's disjointed. You've got the dark side and the light side here. But whatever, maybe it looks good in person. Great views of Toronto, of the lake. You can see for miles. All the same things that you'd see with the one that we have on Bell School Line. So if you want to save a whole bunch of money, the better part of $3 million, go over to bellschoolline.com, or you can go to topoftheescarpment.com. There's a great home there on about 3 acres, and terrific stuff. So we're looking good on that one. You're paying for the 14 acres. You're paying for the renovated home. It's still going to be tough because there's hardly anything that sells over about $3.5 million. If you look over the past 5 years in the Halton region, there's very little. So the audience is very, very tiny. In fact, I would say the number of buyers looking for $1 million property, by the time you hit $2 million, I bet you're 10%. And then by the time you move from $2 to $3 million, you're probably 10% of that remainder. So it's really an exponential decrease in the buyer pool. So 100 Millside 1409, we move over to the other list. It's at $349. And so, whoops, let me go back here. So $349 is the price. It's 1,225 square feet. Great views. You can see the escarpment over on this side. You can also see the entire south view of the town. And I would guess you probably get a little bit of lake off the 14th floor here. They've done some work in the kitchen here. And given what else has sold, I would say that this one's certainly in line. It's nice walking distance to downtown. The building itself is mostly 50 plus crowd. They've got some good amenities here. The condo fees are just over $600, but they include heat, hydro cable, all the rest of it, and obviously those amenities. So very popular building, well kept, built in the 90s, and it's been taken really good care of. So Gleason is 409. Townhouse, it's got a finished basement. It's got some nice wainscoting. Your main floor is basically this in terms of living area. So there's a couch here. I don't really know how that would interact, or I don't know where you'd put a TV in here to really maximize your the number of people that could see it. And then you've got your kitchen over here with an eat-in. Everything's nice, neutral. The ceiling actually looks like it vaults in the family room. And then you've got, I believe, 3 bedrooms upstairs. plus the finished basement. That room looks a little bit tight too. It'd be tough to fit something in here. I don't know how wide it is or if you'd have to do a bed sideways. I don't know if a bed would reach from this side to that side. There's no room measurements, so it's hard to tell in fact how big that room is. And then you've got your nice little finished basement. I think they're definitely going to attract a good audience. Something I wanted to share with you is that a lot of people don't know this until they actually get out and start looking at townhouses. But that door there is a direct entryway to the garage. So you could take your lawnmower out of your garage, bring it right into your backyard. Mattamy homes don't have that. I guess the philosophy that they used was, well, we could maximize the space here, so we're going to fill that in. We're going to have a bigger family room. And so what has to happen with a lot of the Mattamy homes is that you've got to bring your lawnmower, unless you have a shed, you've got to bring it through your neighbor's property. And registered on title is actually a right of way where you can access your backyard with anything you need. So it's a different philosophy. Is it better to have more living space, have a more square room versus long and narrow, or is it better to have direct access to your backyard? That's really up to the buyer, but you do have choices on both ends. Mattamy, as far as I know, is the only builder that does that with their townhouses. Green Park, this is a sundial home. Most of them actually have the direct entrance to the back, Arista, Fieldgate, and so on. So Challinor is the last one of the day. It's a 2,300 square foot home, Plan 6, one of my favorite floor plans. It is on a larger lot. It's got some hardwood floors. Most of the time, this home, I would say, with the upgrades and the features that they have, granite countertops and so on, the cabinets are okay. I would think that it would be hovering in the closer to the mid 5s than the low 6s. And so if they do get up into this price range, I would say it's definitely a function of somebody falling in love with a pretty darn good lot. So that's obviously a nice feature to have. Pool size, possibly. It's hard to tell from these angles how big the lot is. The biggest thing that I'm seeing that people want is privacy. So it's not necessarily about the size of the lot, although it can be for some people. The real winner is, like, I've got 5 buyers right now who are basically saying, I don't want anybody behind me. I don't want to see anybody. And I don't know why, but I mean, for me, I don't mind seeing. But the point is that there's an audience of people that really want that. And so anybody who has a property like that, they usually hold on to them. So that's the other issue, is that there's just not many that come up for sale because people get there and they stay there. So that's the list for the day. And if you have any questions, give us a call. We'd love to sit down and have a chat with you. And what we could do is start some daily updates of homes that match what you're looking for. And what we send has only the stuff that's interesting to you. So it's your criteria. It's the same speed we get them, so even faster than Milton Daily Homes, specific, and it's even got powers of sales, estate sales, and other great deals. So we call that the Home Finder program. If you're interested, you can just reach out to us and just tell us a bit about your criteria. We'd be glad to get that started. So have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow with more Milton Daily Homes.